What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. It is round 2 of Super Rugby this weekend, and what a weekend we are going to be treated to. Last weekend we saw magnificent games, the Highlanders and the Blues picking up phenomenal wins, kicking off what should be an awesome New Zealand Super Rugby contest. But this weekend it just gets better and better, where we see the Chiefs take on the Blues and the Hurricanes take on the Crusaders, the former champs, well, the current champs, who haven't played yet in this new version of the tournament. So it's going to be exciting to see what they have to offer in this tournament, because I think everyone's curious. Are Crusaders going to stay dominant, or will they get a bit of challenges? This is a whole new tournament, whole new attitude, whole new excitement, and I think every team thinks they might have a chance here. And with the rate we've seen the Blues and the Highlanders pick up their wins, it is definitely possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few surprises. Let's kick off with the first one, the Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders. I mean, two magnificent teams. Obviously, the Hurricanes will be a little bit wounded from their loss against the Blues this past weekend, but there were some positives to look at, and they will be wanting to take that with them going into this match, where they can just take on opportunities, convert the points where needed, and just get things right. I think overall a highlight for both games going into this weekend will be they want to be more disciplined, as the penalty count was way too high because of the strictness rules of the breakdown laws, etc. So they're going to want to really take focus in this so that they can avoid getting points from the Crusaders or the Hurricanes, or vice versa for the other game as well. Overall, these sides have met 38 times, with the Crusaders leading 23 games to 12. And in Wellington, they've met 15 times. Hurricanes with the leading 7 games to 6. Recently, the Crusaders lead the head-to-head, winning 7 matches from the last 10. So it's very close, very, very interesting and exciting results that we're going to get. A few standout players that we could look forward to. I mean, Dan Coles had a great weekend last weekend. He really shone. TJ Perenara, you've got experience in the position there. Scott Barrett for the Crusaders is going to be wanting to prove a point. Richie Mwanga, another player who really wants to, as the competition for number 10 spot gets increasingly bigger, he's going to want to stand out this weekend and really show the world what he's made of, and show that he is here to stay and a deserving All Black. So we're going to see a lot of excitement in this weekend's games. And in the training camps, we saw old boys like Kieran Reid joining in, giving the boys a bit of motivation and excitement. So they're definitely taking this seriously, and I think that's one thing we need to realize. But again, Crusaders the Hurricanes have had their first feel to the tournament and are going to want to have redemption from the loss of last weekend. However, you are playing a phenomenal Crusaders team that had the experience and the determination and win factor like no other team in Super Rugby history. Can the Hurricanes beat the Crusaders? Of course they can. On any given good day, they can do it. But for me, Crusaders are going to be fresh. They've had the first week in order to analyse how these two teams will play. They would have seen the weaknesses from the past weekend and will try and implement those into their strengths going forward. So for me, I do see the Crusaders picking up a win, but it won't be a walkover. It will probably be 5 points or less. And I hope that's the case, because I don't want to see a walk away with more than 10 points. You want competitiveness, you want excitement, you want the tightness and the level of these games. So for me, I'm going Crusaders by 5 points, but overall should be a cracking game. And I'm very curious to see how these two teams play. Right, so next up we have the Chiefs taking on the Blues, and what a game this should be as well. The Blues coming off a massive high after beating the Hurricanes this past weekend, and the Chiefs, unfortunately, last-minute drop goal, Gatlin versus Gatlin. Junior had won and got the points over in order for the Highlanders to pick up a victory over the Chiefs in what was a very exciting back-and-forth game. I think the highlight of it, as mentioned previously, was discipline. A lot of penalties, but I think the guys and the coaching staffs of both teams will focus on how to reduce that and not give away silly points, not give away penalties, and not give away cards. Highlanders aren't playing, but obviously the Chiefs and the Blues will want to be more disciplined in order to not lose opportunities. These two teams, I mean, phenomenal. You got Bowden Barrett, you got Carter in the background as an experience point of view. You got Aaron Cruden in the Chiefs. It's just remarkable. And then Damian McKenzie, who for me stood out quite clearly. Unfortunately, though, without Captain Sam Cane, because due to his shoulder injury, but hopefully he will be back soon. So both teams really have a lot of players and a lot of goodness to look forward to in this contest, and we should see an exciting game ahead. Chiefs are at home, so technically you think they have the advantage, but you can never count out the Blues from what we saw last week. They're a totally different team to what they were from the past, and we need to acknowledge that. However, the Chiefs are also just as good, and Gatlin will know what to do in order to recover from last week's mistakes that cost them in this past weekend's loss. Overall, these sides have met 33 times, Chiefs leading 21 games to 11. Now, if we look at history, obviously you can believe that because the Blues were never as strong as what they're becoming now. Yes, in the past they were, but they went through a stage when, unfortunately, they were one of the weaker New Zealand teams. Now they're really starting to pick up things with the coaching staffs and everyone getting involved, and it's really great to see. So it's going to be exciting to see how this game goes. In Hamilton, they've met 12 times with the Chiefs leading 8 games to 4. Recently, the Chiefs lead head-to-head battle, winning 8 matches from the last 10. So technically, all history and results, you're looking at the Chiefs definitely being favourites. They've got a home advantage. But anything can happen in this sport that we all know and love called rugby. And I think that's the key movement going forward, is to how, who, what, and when they take the procedures. For me, if they get the discipline right, then anyone's game. I feel we could get tries. I do feel in certain instances the focus from the previous game with the Highlanders, there was a lot of watch over Damian McKenzie, and I think if he can get the gaps and find the opportunities, he's going to be a force. Bowden Barrett, obviously playing against the Hurricanes, the first game nerves are all gone now. So now he's going to go focus in full Bowden Barrett mode. We know when Bowden Barrett's on form, he is brilliant. You got Cruden, as mentioned. There's just great talent in both teams that really have all black quality that's going to create this into one hell of an awesome derby. But when it gets to predictions wise, I'm going to go, as much as I want the Blues to win, and I do that because they're my team this year, I think the Chiefs being at home, having their little bit heart sore from the previous loss, I think they're going to just be wanting it a little bit more and are going to need this victory if they're wanting any chance. The whole talk has been Chiefs this, and Chiefs could be the ones to dethrone the Crusaders. But after they lost to the Highlanders, it's all up in arms and no one's quite sure what we're going to expect. So for me, I think this week it's going to be the comeback of the Chiefs and they're going to get the victory over. I don't think it's definitely not going to be a smashing point margin. I'm going to go with 4 or 5 points in the difference between the Chiefs and the Blues. So Chiefs to win that game, and obviously Crusaders to win the previous one. But hey, I could be wrong, and I hope I am, because it will be good for the sport if we can see different things happening and another team winning. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Who do you think is going to win in these 2 matches this weekend? It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And we've got a crowd again. It's going to be awesome. Stay safe, New Zealand. Keep strong. I know there are new cases being involved, but hopefully you're able to cure those and get back to this full strength that you were. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.